Well, here's what we see for people that are reluctant to make the switch to a new ERP. A lot of the new ERP solutions that you look at deploying, they maybe have a lot of power behind them, but they're not flexible enough for your business. They require you to completely change the way you operate. Or if you want to have them work the way you want to operate, you have to spend a ton of money to customize them for you. And then the problem is if you customize them, now you're stuck with that version. You can't upgrade because if you upgrade, all your customizations will break. So how do we get away from that? Well, NetSuite and KAS. This is how we do it. So NetSuite is really designed from the ground up to be personalized for your business. And I'll show you a little bit of this today, but what we really mean by that is the personalizations that we're going to do are all at what we call the interface level. They're not changing the underlying code. So NetSuite can still keep pushing out its new versions to you, and all these personalizations that you do just continue to work. You don't get stuck on a particular version. And because they're all really easy to do, it's not expensive to do these. So this is a demo environment of ours, and what I'm going to take you through today is not so much showing you any accounting features or anything like that. I'm going to show you how easy it is to personalize inside of NetSuite. All right. So to start off with, I will mention that it truly is cloud. There's nothing to install on your computer. You just go out to NetSuite and you log in. So this is our home dashboard, and this home dashboard is really designed to be for you. What specifically do you want to see when you log into NetSuite? And let's go ahead and start adding some things. We can personalize this, and we can start adding some stuff. So let's add this navigation shortcut. All right. So this is some shortcuts, but let's pull that over to the right for us. So there you go. Now I've added some shortcuts. I can get to some things really easily. Even as NetSuite does upgrades, this will stay the same for me. I don't ever have to redo it until the day comes when I want to change it. We also have this whole reminders portlet. One of my favorite things is any alert that I want to see going on in the system. Let's say, for example, maybe I like looking at the balance sheet every day, and I don't feel like remembering to go to reports, financial, balance sheet. Okay, so instead, I'll go ahead and go to this page, look at this balance sheet, and say, you know what? Make this really simple for me. Let's add it to my shortcuts. So I'll add it over here, and we'll just call it balance sheet, and I'll save that. All right. So now I don't have to remember my path. I can come over here to my shortcuts, and there's my balance sheet. I can go right to that. As a company, maybe I want to call things something different than NetSuite calls them. For example, NetSuite calls things customers, but maybe I call them clients. And customers call things, NetSuite calls things vendors, but maybe our company calls them suppliers, right? Well, NetSuite says, no problem. Let's name things the way you want to name them. So if you call your customers clients, let's go ahead and do that. And if you call your vendors suppliers, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll save that. And just like that, everywhere in the system, that has been renamed. So now when we come in here and look, we're no longer looking at customers, we're looking at clients. We're no longer looking at vendors, we're looking at suppliers. So let's start, we're going to pull up this customer that we have. We want to make the phone number required. We want to move terms up to the top here somewhere, and we want to add a new field called order notes. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to add what's called a new entity field, and we're going to call that order notes. And we'll go ahead and save that. Here's our order notes field. It's not where I want it to be placed on the form, but at least it's on the form. So now let's go and get a nice personalized client form. I come in here, here's my terms. I'm going to go ahead and say put that onto the main tab. So I'm going to come in here. I'm first going to find my phone number field. This column says mandatory, so I'm going to come down and make the phone number a mandatory field. I'm then going to take my order notes and put them up in the primary section right after the comments. And I'm going to take my terms and also put them up in the primary section, but I'm going to want those to be a little earlier. Let's put them up right before the web address. All right, so let's save this and let's see what we did. We pulled our terms up to the main page. I don't have to go look under financials anymore. I've added our new order notes field, and I've now made the phone number required. And we did that here in just a couple of minutes, right? Let's take this just one step further. We've added order notes onto the client record, but it would be nice that those actually show on our sales order. So we're going to do one other change here. We're going to add what's called a transaction body field. And we're going to also make this a long text field. And we're going to go ahead and put this on the main tab as well. And the only thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the sourcing page and say this should come from the customer, and it should come from the order notes field. So now we know that when we create a sales order, that when we pick our customer, we should pull in this order notes field so we can see it on the sales order. Here's our order notes field. And now when we come into this, I will go ahead and pick my demo customer. And when I pick that demo customer, it will go ahead and grab the information and display those order notes for me from the customer record. I want to show you how you can create a personalized database record, an actual table within your database, and all kinds of cool stuff around that. And we'll talk at the end again about how this stuff just flows from release to release. But let's go ahead and do this. What I want to do is, for our customers, we use them a lot to do references for leads that come in. So I want to keep track of who is doing references for whom. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a new table called references. All right. So here it is. We've got it. Let's go ahead and save this record. And so that creates that new record for us. And let's go ahead and add a few fields to that record. So what we're going to do is we're going to say for our references, I want to track who's doing the reference. Which of our customers is doing a reference for us? So I'll go ahead and track that. Maybe we'll add like date contacted. So when did I reach out to them? All right, so I've gone ahead and created this record. I put some fields on it. I want to go ahead and add this to my menu right away. So I'll go ahead and add this. We'll put it in our relationship, our lists, our relationships, and we'll call it references. All right, boom, we've added a new database. Let's see what we've done with this, and let's show you how to use it. So you saw that, it took about 2 minutes there, we added it. I now have up in my menu under relationships, I now have something called references, and it's a whole list of any reference stuff that we've done. I can add a new reference. And so here it all is, all the fields I set up. So we'll save this reference in here, and now we can start keeping track of who we've been using for references. And just like that, we now have a new table that we're tracking this. But it gets a little cooler than that. Without me having to do any other type of development or anything like that, if I come down to test customer, because I linked this, I now have references as a sub list on this client record. So I can easily see all the references this client has done. Same thing, I can go over to our contact Jane Doe and take a look at Jane Doe, and here again, Jane Doe has all the references that she's done. So not only did we get a nice place to store this information, we linked it to all of our different records, and there again, we did that in about 3 minutes. So what have we done so far? Well, we've personalized our dashboard by adding in some portlets and some lists and things that was important. We updated our reminders to give us more personalized information on things we need to follow up on. We've gone ahead and personalized our colors to make this fit more of what we want to look at it with. We personalized naming, so we now call things clients and we now call things suppliers because that's what our company refers to them as. We then added custom field onto our client record and onto our sales order record for order notes. And then we personalized our client form to make phone number required and move the terms so they were more visible and then show that new field that we added and source that onto the sales order. And then lastly, we added a new personalized database table that allows us to track references, and we're able to link all of that to the customers, contacts, and leads. And we did all of this through the UI in about 15 minutes, no IT involvement. And all those things that we've just done, we never have to redo them again. NetSuite will push out its releases. This is all at the interface level, nothing impacting code. All these things will continue to work and view just the way they are. We never have to worry about redoing them for future releases. I didn't even start getting into things like workflow, like I said, where we can start putting in rules. And again, those are rules that are done through the UI, so they don't require development work, and they flow from release to release. So maybe you want to lock certain fields depending on certain things happening, or for certain roles. Maybe you want to auto-populate certain fields. That's all done with the very powerful NetSuite workflow engine. And there again, something that allows you to personalize your system.
Again, Glenn, thank you so much. And we want to thank everyone who joined us today. It was a real pleasure, and we look forward to connecting with you all soon. Thanks.